Why is this not fucking loading?
Hurry up and load, you dick of a website.
I think that I just hit reload about 18 times, so I might have to just like wait a second here.
Well, shit. Guess while we give your computer a breather, we should dive into the start of this podcast. You guys ready to do
Yeah,
this?
absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shedtime podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shedtime. What is Shedtime, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shedtime's a state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shedtime podcast.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Shedtime podcast. And while Chris fights with his computer, I just want to say Reese's has been diving into a lot of weird things. And I grabbed my grubby little paws, managed to get a hold of this, and this. Not bad.
Oh,
Like,
so some Reese's.
I'll still
uh,
call it Reese's. I don't
you
care.
know, I don't know if I'd like that. I don't know if I dislike that, but I don't know if I would
I'm
like
not a
that.
big peanut butter and pretzel guy.
Well, this is the
They're
thing,
okay,
right?
but
Reese's peanut butter and it being like kind of dry by itself, and I find it salty by itself. I know peanut butter is salty, but it's like something about that putting in that inside of a pretzel. Like I never liked the peanut butter combos. It did not have Reese's peanut butter in it. Granted, I'd be just how are they, Sean? Tell me how are they?
I mean, they're all right. Like, I like a peanut butter filled pretzel nugget. So, like, if you already like just like any random peanut butter filled pretzel nugget that you can get from whatever brand you find locally to you or what have you, then you're gonna like these. I think like it tastes like Reese's peanut butter inside, so obviously it's a little sweeter than like a
And like a
traditional one.
combos or something.
Like I see, I won't even put combos in that discussion for some reason. Um,
Even though they're filled pretzel bites.
I don't know that I've ever seen the peanut butter one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever
Yeah, there's
seen a
like
peanut butter one.
pizza, peanut butter, the nacho cheese. There's like a spicy nacho cheese. There's a buffalo
Like not
chicken.
I'm not familiar with most of those as the pretzel one.
Oh yeah, those are all combos up here. Huh.
Yeah, like I'm only familiar with the like a cheese filled pretzel one around here. I don't know if those ones exist and they just like don't sell in this market, so they don't, get stocked anywhere. But yeah, I feel like it's just the cheese filled pretzel one I ever see. So I don't even think about including them in that. But
Gotcha.
like I know you can go into, most grocery stores and in that little snack aisle, there'll be a container like this from some like, I don't even know, like they're brands I've never even heard of. They're not like huge
Yeah.
brands. You know what I mean? But they'll have like little pretzel nuggets just like this that have like peanut butter in them. And they're all right. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing to write home about. I think what I'm more intrigued by that Reese's has done in this whole step outside of candy thing that they're doing, they have animal crackers that are coated
oh
in
yeah,
like a Reese's peanut butter.
they've had stuff like that for a while, and they've had like their own trails mix sort of thing. They've done a couple different
So they've got a
things over the
Reese's
years.
popcorn now that they're putting out. Like
This
I'm
isn't
intrigued by
Reese's,
those cookies.
but have you seen these? Yeah. Oh fuck, they're not gonna.
Twix peanut butter, or is it more
No,
than that? I
Looks like
just
a
saw
cookie.
Twix.
it is. They're called Secret Center Biscuits or whatever. I saw them yesterday. I meant to grab some. I didn't end up grabbing them. It's like a Snickers cookie, or a Twix cookie, where it's like a caramel on top of a like
Like
their
the
normal,
shortbread.
like the same like shortbread thing. I'm guessing like that's in the center of a Twix, but it's a round and
It's
it's like
circle.
big. So it's like a
I'd fuck
circle,
with that.
dude.
Yeah.
And you know what else they had? They had the Twix ones, and they had Mars ones.
Those would be too much for me. But the Twix ones sound good.
Yeah, I didn't grab either one of them, obviously, but I saw them and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." And I should have grabbed them just for the episode, but
Yeah,
I
I'm sure
saw
I've
him.
told you guys before, like the Mars, man, they're so sweet that they make me cough. I don't know what it is. Something in their sugar or something. It just like makes my throat like scratchy. Maybe I'm allergic. I don't know. I don't know what it would be, but it doesn't happen with a Milky Way. But I find like Milky Ways are a little less than a Mars bar when it comes on the sweets, like the sweet department. You guys feel the same way or no?
no,
They're
it's
like equal.
it's all fucking candy, bro. So it's
Well,
all
no,
sweet.
yeah, dude. Well, trust me, you see, I can fucking hammer nerds clusters. So it's like
Yeah,
it can't be just the sugar. It's got to be like something.
they're all sweet, bro. It doesn't make a difference to me, bro. From like one candy bar to the next, they all taste like chocolate, and chocolate's sweet. So
What are you gonna say, Sean?
I did see out in the wild and have not managed to grab yet the new Butterfinger flavor.
What's that?
They made a salted caramel Butterfinger.
I don't know if I'd like that. I'm not like the biggest salted caramel guy.
I fuck with it. I haven't had the Butterfinger, but the salted caramel Twix is by far better than the original.
I like
What's
the
in
original Butterfinger.
I mean, I was talking about the Twix, but
Oh, sorry. I'd
what's
already
really
fucked with
interesting
Butterfinger.
is that it's like because obviously I haven't had it either yet, but it's the normal peanut butter filling that we know Butterfingers to be. It's like is it a salted caramel chocolate, a salted caramel cream coating of some kind?
Maybe it's just
That's
chocolate with a bit of fucking big salt crystals on it. They're like,
but
yo,
well, no, because like it's
get
caramel
ready.
colored. You know what I mean? So like I don't necessarily know what they did. I don't know if the texture is like a chocolate texture, but it's caramel flavored, or
Oh,
if
is that a payday that has like the caramel and
but
peanuts?
that's
Is
like
that
real caramel and peanuts, and that's the thing I'm wondering. Is it like that caramel
I would
around
assume?
the peanut butter, or is it just like a caramel flavored cream coating, if you will?
Or like a cowtail kind of caramel with like
I think I yeah, I'm looking it up now because I am really curious um what it actually says.
okay, well, while you're looking it up, I'm gonna quickly tell you. So the atomic sour grapefruit, it says, boom goes the terpenes. Get ready for a hit of rocket fuel with a cultivar that traces and strains inspiration lineage back to Chemdog, SFB, OG Kush. This next level strain packs powered up potency and grapefruit flavors at near nuclear levels. Terpenes like limonene, linalool, and terpenool have delivered such an over-the-top explosive sour citrus aroma profile, and it says THC range is 28%.
so it's like a hybrid.
Yeah, oh, it's an indica dominant hybrid, is
Sa-
what they describe it
San
as.
Fernando, like SFVOG is really good. Chem Dog's like good to be the sativa aspect of it, but it's not bad. Like it's pretty decent. The mix of the two would be pretty good.
Yeah, and it was fucking dirt cheap because I was gonna buy a half quarter. And she's like, "Oh, sorry, we don't have any left," and I was like, "Oh." She's like, "But the quarters are pretty cheap right now," so I was like, "Okay, cool," and so I bought it. Yeah, I was telling the guys it was like $21 USD taxes in out the door.
Wild. What a hell of a sale
I
that
haven't tried
is.
it. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet because I still have some of this other one that I'm still using. But I was like getting really low. I can't remember what this one is. Mellow Man, it's called. I don't even know what that is. This says Mellow Man.
And the answer to the question about the salted caramel Butterfinger is that it's a salted caramel flavored coating.
Okay.
So not real caramel, which leads me to believe that it's probably like they made a caramel flavor version of like a white chocolate, if I'm guessing. You know what I mean? Because like it still looks like it's going to be the texture of like chocolate.
Yeah, or like
Well,
maybe it's a bit
it looks like
chewier.
what happened was is they like took the normal center, coated that in like the caramel whatever flavoring, and then put chocolate on it.
Yeah, there is no chocolate in it though. That's the crazy thing.
It looks like there's definitely chocolate on there though.
Like that's why I'm saying like I really think what they did is they made a batch of white chocolate and then made caramel, like put caramel
Yeah.
in it so it wouldn't taste like white chocolate, it would taste like caramel. That's kind of what I think happened here. Because like I was reading and even in the ingredients and like it's candy. We're not making like normal like food like in our kitchen, so we're not getting like normal ingredients we're used to.
Well, here's the
But yeah,
thing. A lot of chocolate that you get in the United States doesn't say chocolate, it says chocolate candy because it can't be considered chocolate because of the breakdown or
Is it
whatever.
like the how like things say contains real fruit? It's not fruit juice or whatever. It's like contains real fruit drink
Yeah, it's
kind of thing.
like all Hershey's, I think, like Hershey's products, they say like chocolate candy and not actual chocolate. Like,
so I'm wrong actually. Rereading the ingredient, there is less than 2% cocoa in this. So maybe they made like a caramel chocolate coating because it's definitely like even the advertising says salted caramel on the outside, but it's not like caramel. I gotta try one. I gotta get my hands on one. I saw it in a gas station. I'm gonna have to figure out what gas station it was and go back and grab one. Because I mean, for just a couple bucks, it's worth it to buy to try it. It's just such a
Oh,
weird combo.
you know what I had recently? We talked about it a while ago. It was like that the Reese's with like the nougat bottom. So it's like a nougat, and then there's like Reese's, and then it's all dipped in chocolate. You guys tried that? I can't remember what it was called. It was actually fucking good. Like the peanut butter and the nougat, like actually like worked really well together.
Oh, the
I was
fast break?
surprised.
Is that what you had? A
Uh,
fast break?
I will look up fast break and I'll tell you.
so
I want to say
I don't like those.
I want to say that's the peanut butter nougat thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. Fast
Yeah,
break.
I
Yep.
don't like those.
See, I like those a lot.
Yeah, that I actually fucked with it pretty good. It was good. Like, would it be my first like thing? I think that no matter what, when it always comes back to, I'd rather just have the peanut butter cups personally. But the most of the Reese's stuff is good. Like the Reese sticks, they're pretty good. Like the Reese fucking Reese's pieces are fine. And even some of like the specialty Reese's cups, they're like not bad. Like I had like the jelly ones. There's like a strawberry and
Yeah,
a
that's
grape
that's a new
jelly.
jam. What'd you think?
They weren't bad, but we actually got them like on our way home, Liz and I. And I was like, man, these are just like so sweet. And like I could barely taste any of the strawberry jelly one. And it's just like I was like, I'd rather just have had like a regular size cup than this. The grape one was a bit better, but once again, I'd rather just have like a smaller one where like a third of the cup was fucking the jelly, and then it just not be like the big cup because that's basically what they are. They're like the Reese's big cups,
Hmm.
but
Yep.
then there's like maybe a quarter of an inch of like the jam or the jelly. And I kind of wish that it was like more. I don't even know. More but less, if that makes sense. Like more like jelly and like less overall of the size of the piece of candy. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like the cups were too big. And then there wasn't enough jelly. So like they're fine.
that's kind of that's kind of been my th concern seeing the ads for them is like I don't know that this is going to be something I am going to want to try again.
Yeah, oh, you've never had them.
No, I can't find them yet.
Okay, well, I would recommend. Well, they're in Maine, so like they got to be really close. Um, I would say if you really like Reese's cups, like check it out. But you might never want them again because, like, honestly, I could probably never have one again and be completely fine with it, unless
That's
they came with a smaller one.
I mean that's kind of almost how I feel about most of those filled big cups they've done. It's like, yeah, I'm glad I tried it, but I don't really need to have another one.
Yeah, like the Reese's Pieces ones, they're fine because it's basically just it's like there's a little bit of candy coating inside of it, and I don't mind them. But like I'm not gonna pay extra, and I'd rather just have like up here you get three of the regular cups in a package. I'd rather just get that.
I don't see those 3 packs often.
Yeah, I guess for you guys it might be like a king size pack, but like our king size pack has four. Just up here, the
Yeah.
regular pack has three.
So we get our normal 2 pack and then we have our king sizes of 4. But once in a while, like those like random dollar stores and stuff will have like those 3 packs.
Oh, they must get them from us.
More than likely.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like those were always dope. You'd be like, fuck yeah, same price, and I get an extra cup, winning.
Yeah, I always feel like ripped off if I would ever buy one in America because there's only two and it's the same price as like a Mars bar. And I'm like, what the fuck? At home, a Mars bar is the same size or the same price as three of these cups. That's crazy.
And although it's Hershey's chocolate, does your Hershey's, like your Reese's chocolate, taste different compared to ours?
There's really not enough. I've never bought like a Hershey's chocolate bar there. Like on the actual peanut butter cup, there's really not enough for me to notice. It's so much of the peanut butter you taste. But I've never got like a Hershey's fucking almond chocolate bar
Just a
or
plain Hershey's
just
chocolate
a
of any kind?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that I've ever got one. Like
It's all right.
not
You're
in
not
the last
missing much.
25 or 30 years. I was never a fan of Hershey's chocolate.
No, whatever.
Do they
There's a
have like a
short
big
period.
time chocolate bar other than just a Hershey's bar? Is there like one that like made it pretty big? Was a whatchamacallit made by Hershey's? Do
It
they even
is, but
make
it's
that anymore?
like they still make them. I love a whatchamacallit. They also made a thingamajig, which is the counterpart to the whatchamacallit, and I've never seen one in the wild.
I've never even
But
heard of it.
yeah, but they do exist. I've just never seen one in the wild. But I don't think most people I know, like if I ask somebody, have you ever had a whatchamacallit? Most people I know would tell me no. Matter of fact, I hadn't had one until I had probably graduated high school, and one of my best friends was like, "Wait a minute, you've never had a whatchamacallit?" And he put me on, and I was like, "This
Yeah,
is a
because
pretty awesome candy."
Hershey's are where you get like the Mr. Good bar, your crackle, and like that sort of stuff. Those are all Hershey's bars. The like cookies and cream Hershey's bar, that was like
Yeah, I've
probably
had
like
that.
that's
Yeah.
like the one outside the standard. That's probably like one of the more popular ones. But other
And then
than
of
that,
course, like maybe the Hershey's Kiss,
well,
you
Yes.
yeah,
know.
Well,
that's like
Hershey's
that's
Kisses.
probably the most popular Hershey's other than the standard Hershey's bar. The only time I ever eat Hershey like like straight Hershey's bar is if I'm doing s'mores.
Oh, just because that's like the most common,
Yeah,
like rectangly crack
yeah.
apart. That was like
Like
there's one when I was a kid. I think it was called the Jersey Milk. and like it was just one big bar of chocolate, but it didn't. It was like a crunch bar. How there's like no like determined fucking parts to
Mm-hmm.
break, so you're just like breaking off fucking. And no chunk is the same fucking size. She used to fucking drive me nuts, man. You'd be like at some like slumber party and like the mom bought fucking Jersey milks. You'd be like, "How the fuck are you supposed to break these for s'mores? Goddamn!" It's decent
Nowadays, we could
chocolate,
just be
but
bougie. Use some fucking Ghirardelli chocolate squares. Give yourself a next level s'more.
nah, bro. I'll just get a fucking dairy milk and be in heaven. Give me that Cadbury's dairy milk, baby.
Honestly, Chris, take 4 squares of that caramel. Make a s'more with that.
Oh, have like the caramel in there.
You just take Rolos, bro.
Yeah.
I never liked the Rolo chocolate.
Dude, Rolos fucking smack, bro.
Yeah, I
Oh, I
never
could go
liked their
hard on some
chocolate.
Rolos. Thing with a Rolo though is there's not that's another one of those there's not really a lot of chocolate.
It's
There's
more caramel
so
than
much
anything.
caramel inside to eat that like
Yeah, but the
you,
chocolate's left in your teeth, right? I'm not saying that they're bad. I would never turn one down. I would take them over like
Honestly,
a
any
junior
chocolate I eat is
caramel,
stuck in my
but
teeth. It doesn't matter what it is. That's just part of the
no,
price of eating chocolate.
but then I have to taste just the chocolate. That's my point. I don't like their chocolate and a Rolo. I like the caramel though. I would just get if they gave like just caramel drops dipped in a little bit of fucking like icing sugar. So it was just kind of like you could actually touch it without it sticking to your fingers. I would probably smack the fuck out of that Rolo caramel.
that was like on some old school penny candy shit right there though. Just like caramel drop. There used to be a little spot we grabbed penny candy when I was young. And like you'd be able to get like obviously they weren't pennies anymore, they were nickels. That's at that era in the like mid 90s. But like there used to be these cubes of that kind of like nice, soft, chewy
Oh
caramel like the
yeah, they
inside
come
of a
in the
Rolo.
the cellophane wrapper on it.
Yeah, like I don't think there was even like any branding on the
Nope,
cellophane. They were just like
nope.
clear cellophane and you just peel that little
Yep.
cube out and oh, go ham.
Dude, I have memories of those. Not only just like getting them at like the grocery store and like the bulk candy thing, but like when my mom started making like chocolate and stuff at home, instead of sitting there and like trying to make, or like when she get like big orders, instead of trying to make like homemade caramel, she'd just go and just buy bags of that and just fucking melt it like on the stove and like use it to like dip or like fill or whatever. And then of
Yeah.
course we just have bags of it at the house. So every now and then I just go by and grab a fucking couple cubes, dog, walk back to my room, munching on some fucking caramel.
Dude, my like one of my mom's friends or one of my mom's or one of my friends' moms, I can't remember how I knew them. They used to like make this like it was like a cake, I guess. It'd be like more of like a moister cake, and then they would frost it, and then they would like put like designs, I guess, like lines of designs, and they would just get like, the craft caramels that are individually wrapped. I think you were talking about something very similar to
That's
it.
exactly what we're talking about. Welcome
Okay.
back to the show, Chris.
And so she would melt it in the pot, like you said, and she would like then pour it in lines on like wax paper.
Hmm.
And then she would fucking drizzle like Oreo cookie bits on them. And then she would like fucking design. So it was like this like chocolate cookie bit caramel vibe. Like, and that it was actually pretty good. It was like one of the ways that I enjoyed the Oreo cookie bits.
Is it like a like almost like a bark, if you will, like a caramel cookie bark from what you're
Yeah, kind
describing?
of.
You just
Yeah,
like
like
take a little chunk off and just chomp on it?
you could definitely have just ate them by themselves. She just happened to always like
Use it
put
as
them
like some
on
sort of
cakes.
garnish or like
Yeah.
decoration.
Like she would like make it so there was like a checkerboard or something. And so she would
Oh,
like cut up them and it'd be like a checkerboard or like that kind of shit. It was pretty good.
I could fuck with some caramel bark. I'm not a brittle guy, but you give me like a caramel bark, I think we could get into that.
Did you guys like both of like the craft like caramels? Like there's like a darker one and then like a lighter one. Did you guys
Oh,
get the two
the,
colors? The
what
two
I would refer to is the difference between caramel and caramel.
Oh, okay, yeah, because like one was darker. I don't know why it was darker, and then there was one that
It's
was
cooked
lighter. And
longer.
okay,
Yep.
but they would have
Darker.
a little bit different taste, and
Yep. Because it's a
the
little more
bag
of
that
that
you would get would be
Maillard.
like half
Never
and half.
fucking noticed, bro. I just fucking ate the shit, dude.
He's like, all
Yep.
I knew is I unwrapped that shit and popped it in my mouth.
Mhm.
Yep. The light ones are a little bit softer, a little bit creamier, and the darker ones are a little bit richer, a little bit harder. Oh, they're so good.
Have you guys ever had the two different like flavored like caramels though? Like the one that's darker and like sorry.
It doesn't roll is good for you right there. I was because I'm 100% have no idea what
I know,
happened.
dude. I was just trying, bro. I was just trying.
Oh man. I do love a good caramel. Caramel.
Dude, I fuck with all that stuff. Like if it's like bad for your teeth, your boy is into it. At some point in
Yo.
my life, I loved it. Even
I
like the
mean,
shittiest of fucking Halloween toffees and stuff that other people would be like, I don't even want this. I'd be like, give it to me, man. They'd be like, it tastes like garbage bags. I'd be like, no, it tastes like fucking sweetness. I will fuck with that.
Let me ask you guys this real quick because this just popped in my head because you're talking about like taffies and stuff. Did you guys ever notice that the big Laffy Taffies, like the big, like long fucking stick ones, are a different consistency than the small one, like individually wrapped ones?
100%. Yes.
I have a theory for that because I agree with you.
It's like
I
because the
think,
ones that are in the longer bar are a little bit harder, a little bit tougher, I feel. And then the smaller ones are definitely a little bit softer, a little bit more chewy. You don't have to work as hard to eat them.
okay, this is my thought, right? Is there's less surface area and like more commonly the smaller ones are like a little bit thicker, like so the bigger Laffy Taffies are like, let's say that they're like that thick,
Yeah, they're like maybe a quarter of an inch.
but the bigger ones are like maybe half an inch,
Yeah.
but they're just way smaller. So I
Mhm.
feel like because there's less air getting at it, even though they're in a package, that's why. I don't know if that makes any
Well, I
sense
mean,
or if like any scientist would say no, that makes sense. To
the
me
really
that's
long
why.
one though, like that's just like Slim Jim shape. Those are always wicked soft too.
Yeah, those are the same consistency as like the small ones in the bag. But if you get the flat long
Yeah, the big
ones,
flat long one that's like
yeah,
trying to be an airhead.
yeah, it's almost like they're like more sugary.
It's like
Like
chewing
it's
on a
more,
slap bracelet hard.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Like I
I
know
love them both
exactly what you mean.
regardless. They're both delicious. I'll eat them both. That doesn't
Yeah, you
matter. But
just
I just
your
something I
eating
just
tactic is different. That's
yeah,
all.
because exactly you have to like go at the bigger ones a little bit more strategic unless you want to fucking pop a cap or fucking lose a cavity or I mean a
Yeah, and you
filling or
Oh,
don't
some
fuck with
shit,
it
you
just
know.
like you got to respect a Charleston Chew. You know what I'm
Just like
saying?
you got to respect a noun later too, bro. You can't go ham on a noun later off rip sometimes because he can fuck you in the ass.
Yeah, you
I
can live
have
to regret it.
I have a theory now that we're talking about this though, and I wonder if because those big, long, wide ones uh, are as big as they are, I wonder if they somehow retain cold better. And as a result, that's part of what makes them stiffer.
Because there's more mass.
Yeah, so like during shipping and stuff, the constant like changing of temperatures, being exposed to cold and heat going in and out, like I wonder if that causes it to get like that harder stifferness and like the smaller ones just due to the way that they get packaged and shipped somehow aren't as affected.
Dude,
You know what I
imagine that
mean?
the bigger ones just have like a longer process to get to the wrappers, and like that's the only difference.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
It
maybe
could
Can you
be.
imagine it's
they just touch
something
the
that
air just a
simple?
tad bit
Yeah,
longer.
yeah, dude.
That honestly could
Or it
be.
could just be the stretch, like because they maybe stretch it. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
to
Yeah,
if
they
they
make it
like
that
roll it
long.
longer.
to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
it like a longer thing compared to just cutting small like little pieces. You know what I mean? They might actually work it more. I don't know.
Candy science over here.
Laffy Taffy, if you're out there, hit us up. Let us know.
Yeah.
Cool. Inquiring minds.
That's that's made by Wonka, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know if that's made by. I think Laffy Taffy's not under Wonka anymore.
Oh,
Well, the
really? Oh,
whole
okay, okay.
the
Because like
whole
Nerds
Wonka
isn't.
brand
Well, no,
is
there's still Wonka branded things, but there's some of the Wonka products that don't have the
yeah.
Wonka name on them anymore. Like, have you noticed Nerds don't say Wonka on them anymore?
I never
No, they're
looked,
just their
but
own thing now.
Yeah, it's like their own thing. It's like under the umbrella, but it's like Nerds brand is like anything Nerds is like under the Nerds brand, like umbrella of Wonka or whatever.
maybe
This
that's
is
just the way that like
Just
companies move and
like bottle
kind of
caps.
like
Bottle
shift.
caps used to be a Wonka product. And oh, they're made by the same company, the Ferrera Candy Company. I think Ferrera Candy owns Wonka.
Yeah, they bought the
Oh,
Wonka
okay.
brand most recently. The Wonka brand has changed hands a shitload. Quaker originally owned the Wonka brand.
Oh, really?
Break
Yeah,
Quaker Oats?
yeah, as it the same. They were the original owners of the Wonka IP.
Wow, they definitely sold too
You
soon.
know what
Like,
still kind of grinds my gears about Wonka candy is the fact that gobstompers do not and have never looked like the ones in the movie.
not from them, that's for sure. You get the ones from like fairs and shit that look like the ones in the movie.
I've never seen any variation that looks like the ones
Oh,
in the
Yeah,
really?
movie.
Like the ones that are like not spiky, but kind of like have like the
They look like the
bumpy.
old spiky rumble balls you used to get when you were a kid that just fucking vibrate and fucking. I only know that because my nephew has one and it looks just like it.
Yeah, yeah, we used to get those, but it was never made by Wonka. It was like a smaller company. I don't know.
yeah, no, like the not Gobstopper Wonka product would have obviously just been the classic Jawbreaker, which is still just a round ball that was layers and layers and layers of sugary candy.
Yeah.
We definitely in America, I don't think we ever saw a Gobstopper look like we saw it in the movie.
Dude, do you
Dude,
remember
I actually
chewy
remember.
gobstoppers though?
Oh, I
Dude,
used to fuck those up
fire.
so
Fuck,
hard,
I
dude.
wish they would bring them back, dude. Honestly, all the chewy variants of like the Wonka candies were fire, bro.
They
Chewy
don't
runts,
make those
bro.
anymore for real.
Dude, when was the last time you seen some chewy runts, dude?
Dude,
I
Chewy
actually
Runts were
don't know if I ever
bangers too.
remember Chewy Runs, but
They come in
Chewy
a red. They came in a red
Gobstoppers.
package,
Excuse
I'm
me.
gonna see if we have those here still.
dude. Chewy runts were the fucking shit, bro. It's like you can't get chewy sprees anymore, or at least I haven't been able to find them.
I only see them in the peg bag now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a gas
They used
station
to
up the
come in
road
like
from
the
my work.
box or like a
Yeah,
roll.
I
Like
don't see
remember
them in
the
the roll anymore.
shockers that eventually turned into shock tarts that eventually turned into shockers. They were like
I
the
do
sour
remember those.
variation of a spree, dude. Those things fucking rocked.
Yo, if you wanna talk about some OG shit, let me see if I still have this picture. I do. Check out what I found. Do you guys remember this
Oh
from
yeah,
back in the day?
crybabies, bro. I see them all over the place,
Oh
bro.
yeah.
Did you
I
remember getting the ice cream from the ice cream man? It had like one of those gumballs in the middle of it. It was like a cup. It had like the super sour, like fucking cherry ice cream. I used to fucking love that shit, dude.
well, we could tell spring is spring because the allergies are kicking my ass.
Dude, same here, bro. I've been so fucking congested and fucking nose runny and sneezing, and it's been gnarly.
Ugh.
Nah, dude, they don't sell them at Walmart.
Like I said, I don't think they're a thing anymore. I think they got
Now,
discontinued.
I just Googled it. You can only find the classic Gobstopper now. That's a
I feel like
bummer.
they stopped all the chewy variations of Wonka stuff.
I mean, like I said, with the constant changing of hands that the Wonka brands have been through, like a lot of that IP got sold and reshuffled around, and some of it got dropped from the Wonka IP, but is still, like made to this day, like we're talking about with like the bottle caps. So I can't remember. There's like two or three candies left that still bear the Wonka name, and that's it.
It's like the Wonka bar obviously still carries it because obviously it's the Wonka bar. There's like one or two others I can't remember off top. I
Yo, I
think
just found these new candies, bro, at Walmart. They're called squashies and they're sour cherry and apple, like apple, whatever, but sour cherry and
I'm
apple. And it's like half of it's sour cherry, half of it's apple. I
see,
would
I'm not a
rather it be
big
half
apple.
lime, bro.
Yeah, I'm
If it
not a
was
big
sour
apple
cherry and lime,
or lemon.
I would literally be ordering them right fucking
Honestly,
now,
any
dude.
other flavor besides apple, and I probably would get them, even if it was like orange.
And they're British. It has like a fucking Union Jack on it. I don't even fucking know, dude. Either way, looks fucking good.
So apparently, as it stands now, the one thing that the Wonka brand, like food brand, is actively selling, according to like branded as Wonka, are Wonka Magic Hat Gummies. Like this is straight off of Wonka.com, just gusher gummy style with little hats.
Hmm.
Wow, dude. Wonka, you fucking hopefully you made a bag selling all your fucking shit because you ain't fucking cutting it now.
I mean, there's still all of the names that like we know that people still classify as the Wonka candy brands, but most of them aren't actively sold with the Wonka name on them like they used to. So like I'm on candystore.com right now looking, and if you look for Wonka candy on their site, they're still pulling up Fun Dip, Laffy Taffy, Nerds, Runts, Sprees, Sweet Tarts. Somehow they, oh, nope, they don't have Wonka bars anymore because those are no longer a thing. And yeah, that's it. That's all they got. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's right. Pixie Sticks for a while were under the Wonka brand.
Wonky pixie
They
sticks.
originated them.
I was never a big pixie sticks guy.
Oh, I used to fuck with Pixie Sticks hard. Pixie Sticks, Fun Dips.
I used to occasionally fuck with Fun Dip, but it was like definitely not something that I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna fucking pick up a Fun Dip, get myself a fucking
Dude,
bottle of
I
Coke
used
or
to
something. I
love the
was
Fun
never.
Dip, bro, and I actually really enjoyed the fucking stick that came
Oh,
with
the
it.
sticks were good. I agree.
I couldn't tell you what flavor it was besides just sugar.
It was like bubble gum.
No.
No, but I mean, like it's like bubble gum. Like, remember Sean was saying, wasn't it Sean that was saying that? Who
I did
said
not
that?
Yeah,
think
it's
it
just
tasted like bubble gum at all, bro.
I'm not saying
just
it tasted at all
an
like bubble gum.
amalgamation of all flavors that
To
they
me,
had
it just tasted
accessible.
Yes.
like just sugar.
It was like them just make, well, let's make a really flavorful stick that just tastes like nothing
Well,
that
I feel
anybody
like it
knows
didn't
about.
taste like anything, and that's the reason why you had the flavored dip.
Oh, it had a flavor to me. I just couldn't put my finger on it. But the dip obviously would smack because it was super fucking like sour compared to the stick was like more neutral. It was like chalky almost. Instead of like granulated sugar, it was like powdered sugar just pressed so fucking hard.
Interesting.
I actually always wondered how come they never would sell like Fun Dip without the, or like a king size pack or something, you know what I mean? Like you could just buy like a little container of like a powdered Fun Dip flavor.
Well, they do the packs that have like multiple in one thing.
But I'm just thinking, like, dude, like, wouldn't you fucking get some like for people that like red vines or Twizzlers? You just like fucking dip that in the Fun Dip, dude. That would be amazing.
Oh, dude, there are other companies that did variations. Dude, you ever had a baby bottle pop?
No,
It's literally just a lollipop. The container the it had like a bottle and like the nipple was a lollipop and you'd unscrew it and it'd have a stick on the bottom and inside the bottle would be like a powder. You'd literally lick the lollipop, put the bottle thing on it, shake it, and it'd cover in the powder, and then you'd lick the fucking thing and put it back on
oh
there.
yeah, no, I've never even heard of that before.
Yeah, dude. There's all
I
kinds of
definitely would
different
have
shit
tried
like
it if
that.
I saw it though.
There's also other ones that like there's like a fucking one that had like a foot. It was like a foot lollipop, and you like dip that in fucking like pop rocks type shit and
Oh, I
eat
feel
that.
like I would know that. The
Yeah,
pop
yeah,
rock
yeah,
thing made me think.
yeah. It was something like that, I think, back in the day at one point. There's all kinds of shit like that, dude.
Dude, even just pop rocks. I remember like when I was a
Pop rocks were
kid
the
having
shit, dude.
pop rock, dude, you just like well, you had a younger sister just like me. I would like fucking hammer my mouth full and we'd be like in the
And just like be
van.
in her
And
ear.
I'd just be like, Laura, what's up? And I'd be like talking and she'd be like, she'd feel
Yeah,
like
dude.
she's freaking the fuck out, so pissed. My sister was definitely one of those people that just would be like, Chris is bothering me. Chris is bothering me. Like that. And I would just definitely earn it. I
Dude,
would bother
the
her all
worst
the
part
time.
is like there'd be points like when my sister was younger where she would be the one causing all the problems, but then be the one that would turn about and be
I'd
like,
be
"Huh?"
like, it's James's
Yeah,
fault.
exactly.
Dude, that's what little sisters do. Anybody out there that has a little sister, they're like, yup, know the vibe.
I used to get in so much trouble, bro. Not saying that some of it wasn't deserved, but there was definitely a few times where some of it I was like, "Come on, man, I'm just standing here."
Or it's like, come on, mom, do you honestly
I was
think
like,
that I
"Mom,
can
I
go
just
and
looked at her."
go
She's like, "Well,
spark
don't look
beats?
at her then."
Yeah.
Well, she's fucking right here.
It's like I wasn't playing with her toys. There's no toy she has that I would ever fucking want to
Yeah.
play with.
I'm I'm amazed by the internet right now.
Wow, what's it sharing with you?
You want to know what the actual flavor of the Fun Dip stick is?
Nothing.
Marshmallow.
Okay, that makes way more sense because marshmallows to me just kind of taste like
I mean, it's just
sugar.
sugar.
Yeah,
All marshmallow is a cooked sugar.
that makes way more sense.
So, yeah. And I mean, maybe there's a hint, the faintest hint of vanilla in there to give it a marshmallow note. But yeah, marshmallow is what the actual flavor of the Fun Dip stick is supposed to be.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And that
And it
then
also
makes me
works because
think,
I would eat marshmallows with fucking powdered sugar
Oh
and
yeah,
cane
right?
sugar all over them,
dude.
no problem.
Dude, you remember strawberry marshmallows, bro?
I
There's still a
never
thing.
really liked them.
I know,
They're
but
still
dude,
around.
but when I was a kid, bro, I used to love them. I don't know if I necessarily would like them now because, like, I don't know, but dude, I just used to love marshmallows when I was a kid, bro. Like when you'd have like the big ones or even the mini ones, dude, I'd just go and grab handfuls of them and just fucking shove them in my fucking gullet.
Oh, dude. I
Did you
used to
like the banana
love a
ones?
marshmallow.
I didn't know there was. I only ever had the regular white fucking standard marshmallow, or every like now and then we'd get like the pink strawberry ones.
Oh, yeah, there's yellow banana ones.
Never
I
had them.
really don't like
There's
them.
even green lime ones.
Dude,
Oh,
I'm
I've
sure there.
definitely
Dude,
had
have you
that.
seen? Okay, there's this company I think in like Australia or something that makes like crazy flavor marshmallows,
Oh, dude, they're everywhere.
but they're like fucking big fucking like squares, but they're like nuts flavors, dude. Like almost like you would get at like a crazy donut shop or like
Yeah.
at like one
Like
of
doing
those,
like a pistachio and cream
yeah,
marshmallow.
or like a fucking
Oh,
churro marshmallow or
yes,
like
dude.
fucking cotton candy or watermelon or like whatever, dude. And they look delicious. But I
They're pretty
also
good.
not super into marshmallows, so it's like
I'm gonna say this: the ones that I had, James, they weren't a square like you're talking about. They're just like a really oversized marshmallow.
I'm gonna look. Hold on, I'm gonna
And
look this up.
Liz got them for somebody, and then she got some for herself. And I had a couple of them, and like they're interesting. And there's like maybe 50% of it is marshmallow, but everything else is like
No,
so over the
no,
top that
these are
like
just they're just marshmallow, even though
no, but
they're
I mean like
flavored.
because there's like all this stuff on top of it. That I don't mean like
Um,
it's it's like they've made the specialty cupcakes. You know how like there's cupcakes with like pieces of Snicker on it, and then there'll be
Yeah,
like
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
all these extra things. That's like what these marshmallows would
no,
be like.
the ones I'm talking about aren't like that though. They
Yeah,
are those types of
you're
flavors, but there's nothing in them. It's
yeah, it's just
just
like a
marshmallow.
square
Yeah.
marshmallow vibe.
I'm trying
I
to
know
remember what the
was
company
it
was.
the Jet Puff
Is it
brand or
this?
whatever made some that were caramel filled. I don't know if they're still a thing, but dude,
Oh
you're
no,
talking about like
okay. Well,
s'mores?
here's this company. This company makes one. some crazy ones. Oh, dude, this one they got nerds in them. They're strawberry grape nerd marshmallows. Oh, okay. So I guess some of these, Chris, are kind of like what you're saying, but
Yeah, like where she
but
was buying it from was not like a huge business. It was like it was probably like some she
yeah,
saw on Facebook. You know
this
what I
is
mean?
exactly what I'm talking about. Something I saw on like Instagram. Like I'm looking at it right now. It's the marshmallow.co. And dude, they have some pretty
And they're
delicious.
expensive too.
Oh
Like she
yeah.
spent like $20 on like 12. I
I think
maybe
for
even
like
more, dude.
for three marshmallows, it's 876.
Yeah, so they're like almost $3 a pop.
And there, does it see how big they are?
They just gotta get shipped to you.
Yeah.
I think that hers got shipped to her and they weren't bad. Like they did,
Well, no,
and
I'm sure they
I think that she
fucking
actually shipped
package
them
them and
after
seal
she
them.
got them.
I'm sure they're like packaged and sealed properly and all that shit, you know?
I
Well,
just mean that you're gonna
100%.
spend, $9 and then pay shipping
Oh yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah,
it to
yeah.
you. You know what I mean? It's
They
not
probably
like
had like
walking
some
into a local
deal.
bakery that makes these and buying them and then
They'll be
walking
like,
back
spend
out.
Okay.
$75 on
And then
fucking
here's another
marshmallows and get it
company.
free shipped.
Here's
Right?
another company
Damn.
doing the same thing. They've got their they're called XO Marshmallow. They've got a bunch of different ones too. But oh dude, they've got like marshmallow brownie cup things. A marshmallow turtle. Dude, it's got a caramel pecan marshmallow dipped and covered in chocolate.
I'm into all of that.
Hey, idea. Marshmallow taste
I'm
tests.
picking up what you're putting down.
Marshmallow taste tests.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere different. I was like,
Get
oh, this isn't.
order a bunch of premium marshmallows. Like the premium marshmallow market is wild.
No, oh, did you Google it? And now you're looking at
I
it?
did, yeah. Like I
Yeah, it's
didn't
crazy.
realize.
When Liz originally told me this was like a year ago, I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. She's like, oh, you know what I mean? She's
What's
like, they
it? What
take
was
and they
it
make
called?
marshmallows and dip them in all this stuff, whatever.
I'm
Well,
just calling it like premium
Oh yeah,
marshmallows.
I typed in gourmet marshmallow
Yeah,
and all
same
kinds
idea,
of
right?
dude.
Like
There's
I just
like
found the Fancy Marshmallow
yeah,
Co.
I just clicked at that one. They make some pretty gnarly ones too. That's kind of what
Dude,
like I was saying. There's a few
there
companies. I'm
should be
trying
like
to.
a mail order fucking snack cake game. You know what I mean? Like some company that
Oh,
just makes
I
divine fucking snack cakes, like not like little Debbie's on fucking order from Amazon.
Google
I
it,
mean,
Chris.
like,
I bet you can find 10 spots right now.
yeah. So I'm gonna put in gourmet.
bro. I found more of what like James was talking about. Like this is fresh Florida strawberry. They're just strawberries that have been blended into your marshmallow mix, so they're just slightly pink marshmallows.
Dude, I just found this spot right here that's got brownies and cookies.
Dude, I just
Oh,
fucking by doing that, there's a place you can order cakes and they ship nationwide, dude. And I got a $20 fucking gift code off. Let's go. And these things are expensive as shit. Oh, this is in America. So you guys can get them. I can't. Fuck. But they're expensive anyways. So you can get a Jewish apple cake 2-pack for $66. That's what kind of deals I'm looking at right now.
I'm
baller
telling you,
snacks, huh?
dudes.
Dude,
Gourmet
this is
mallows,
insane.
bro. Gourmet mallows.
Pie cake and bake shop. I don't even know what that is,
The
but it's
Vermont
green.
Marshmallow Company.
Whoa, dude.
Dolce de leche.
Ooh,
Lemon,
Sean, like
lemon
this is
poppy
insanely
seed.
priced, but it's Aunt Polly's banana pudding jars. And it's like it looks to be like a pint jar filled with banana pudding, and it's got like biscuits within it.
It doesn't have Nilla wafers in it.
It like kind of looks like that. Like, I mean, that's what they
Dude,
look
that's the
like.
only way to eat banana pudding is with Nilla wafers.
It
I
says it
can't
serves six
disagree.
people. It
Dude,
says it serves six people,
when
so it's
was the
more than a
when
half.
was
It's
the
more than a
last
pint.
time either one of you had a Nilla wafer?
Um, by itself,
Uh,
it's been a minute, but with some banana pudding, maybe in the last year and a half.
oh, for me, it's probably been since I was single digits in age, honestly,
Yeah, it's it's been at
or
least
like since I was around
10.
little kids,
It's
which
been
has
at
been a long
least,
time.
yeah, 10 to 15, maybe even 20 years.
Because like that would be something that would be in like childhood homes when I was a
Yeah,
child.
yeah,
So the minute that the children were like not old enough and they'd be getting replaced with like fucking chocolate chip granola bars, they're done. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
So
never
dude.
saw
They
them
might
again.
have got swapped out for the kudos bars, bro.
you can go and just buy this brand of pudding in like the cooler section at the grocery store that is banana pudding with vanilla wafers crushed up in the top, like like
Oh,
pudding mix-ins or
like the
yogurt
Oreo.
mix-ins.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I did it. Because like I haven't bought a box of those
Dude. Oh, you know what?
it
That's a lie.
a long time.
I had a Nilla wafer a few months back, bro, because my nephew made some homemade banana pudding, and you know what was on that bitch? Some Nilla wafers. And I think I just went and snagged a Nilla wafer and didn't even eat any pudding,
I mean,
except for whatever pudding was on the wafer. You know.
Nilla
Or the-
wafers are pretty fire.
No, they're pretty good. So
Like
is pudding. I
yeah,
haven't had pudding in forever, dude, and
dude,
now I kind of want homemade pudding.
a nice creamy chocolate pudding sounds pretty fire right now.
I could go for a banana pudding right now, to be honest. A
Even
little bit of
honestly,
whipped cream,
banana,
dude.
dude. Here's the thing, dude. A little banana, little chocolate, little scoop of each, little chocolate banana. Ooh.
I'd be down with that.
Or
I
I
actually
mean,
I've
think that we
always been
might
a
have
big
lemon
fan of it.
pudding
Like
upstairs.
I've always been the guy that always double up on the snack pack and get two snack packs, but I'd grab one chocolate and one vanilla, and I'd eat them both together. Like I'd open them both at the same time, take a
And you'd be
little bit
like,
of the chocolate, a little
yeah,
vanilla. Bro, smacks.
I'm just
like
gonna
a Hunt
say
snack pack.
Snack Pack
Yeah,
makes
turn that snack pack into a smack pack, bro.
Yeah,
Yup.
dude.
Snack Pack makes a Cinnabon pudding and
See,
it goes hard.
here's the thing, man. Like, as much as I love, like this flavored that, or Twix cereal, or this. Fuck, dude. Like everybody's got a fucking like thing now. It's like, can't we just have fucking regular pudding for pudding's sake? And when I want a Cinnabon, I'll have a fucking Cinnabon. Like, I'm just getting ranty here. At the end of the day, I can't really say much because I'm being a hypocrite. Because there are things of like like fucking like a Cinnabon creamer and a coffee, bro. I'm fucking down with. But at the same time, it's like, come on, bro, just have a fucking Cinnabon with your fucking coffee. You don't gotta have fucking that kind of creamer in your coffee.
I would
But
much rather do that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but like it's like fuck, man. It's crazy the amount of fucking things that we have that are just like combinations of things or this flavored that, you know? It's pretty
I don't know,
crazy
man.
compared to like when we were young. Because like it
I'm,
wasn't a
I'm
thing when we
into
were
it.
kids. Oh,
It's
I'm
because
not
they
saying
have
I'm
to, they
not, but
have
at the
to
same
though.
times, bro, at the same time, sometimes I'm like, dude, did we really need, this or that?
Some of
Absolutely
it
not.
I'm mad wasn't a thing when we were kids.
No, that's also a thing. That's
Like,
also why I'm like on the fence, bro. It's because like
you
there's
know,
also things where I'm like, why have I never thought of that before? Or
like
things that I've
literally.
already been doing for years, behind the scenes. Now all of a sudden
Yeah,
are
like
things
why
like
did
you
it
can
take the
buy.
goddamn Kelsey brothers to fucking get two types of cereal to be in one box together?
What? That's a thing?
Wait,
You didn't see when that happened?
what were the two
No.
cereals?
Um, hold on. We gotta Google it because I
As a
can't
person
remember
who
anymore.
is a staunch believer in mixing cereals, I can't believe I haven't heard of this.
The Kelsey
Was it
Brothers
like Apple
cereal.
Jacks and something else?
Um, it was Reese's Puffs, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Lucky Charms all mixed in one bag.
That's literally the worst combination I've ever heard.
Yeah. Take the
So
Reese's
that's probably
Puffs
why.
out, and it probably would have been good.
I I think Reese's and Cinnamon Toast Crunch work.
Yeah, peanut butter and cinnamon
Dude, because I'll
works.
tell you what, Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Lucky Charms, fire mix if you're not doing it.
Cinnamon toast crunch and anything that's not
Practically any,
super
yeah.
fruity.
That
Or
right.
chocolate.
Some
Honestly,
fruity ones, okay, but
I'm not really into cinnamon and chocolate together too
Oh
much.
man, cinnamon and chocolate
I don't mind it.
slaps.
I
It's
don't
not really
mind
my
it.
favorite. You know what I
It's
mean?
not
It's not
mine
something
either.
like I'm going after, like, oh, this is gonna be good. Like I'm
Like
like, it's all
if
right,
I
but
could do it if it's part of it, right? So like if you gave me like cinnamon toast crunch and cookie crisp, I can get behind it.
yeah, see,
I don't really
I
like cookie
fucking
crisp,
hate
but
Cookie Crisp,
Yeah, I
bro.
don't like Cookie Crisp either.
I was just thinking because there is chocolate.
Yeah,
Even
but
though when
dude,
you're eating it, it's
it
not
does
super
not even
chocolate.
it doesn't even taste
No,
like Cookie
like I
Crisp.
would eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Cocoa Pebbles
I would
all
try
day.
it,
See, oh,
and I don't like cocoa pebbles.
retracted. I retract my statement.
What's the other one?
Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa. Yes,
That's
I
exactly what I was gonna
Cocoa
say.
Pebbles. I think I would be more likely to eat that than the puffs. I was thinking the puffs
see,
are
I
better.
fuck with Cocoa Puffs and not Cocoa Pebbles.
Just like I'll fuck with Fruity Pebbles over Tricks any day of the week.
And see, but I'll fuck with Fruity Pebbles over Tricks. I
But
like
they're
fruit.
definitely down on my list
Yeah,
regardless.
dude.
But
Honestly, Fruity Pebbles. Here's the thing about Fruity Pebbles. I love them. They're delicious, but they are honestly one of the pain in the ass cereals to eat because you can never fully get all the cereal out of the milk because it's just too small and you're sitting there forever trying to fish out these tiny little flakes. So by the time it gets there, I just drink it and they're so mushy at that point. It's almost
yeah,
like
it
it's a
just goes
smoothie.
down anyways.
Yeah. But dude, for mixing, bro, Fruity Pebbles is awesome if you want to throw that into the mix because it just fills all like the gaps.
Oh, like Fruity Pebbles and
You know
Lucky
what I mean?
Charms.
I was gonna say
Ooh,
Fruity Pebbles and
Captain
fucking
Crunch
Captain
Berries.
Crunch, dude. That's what I was thinking.
Crunch Berries, dude. My big combo right now, it's like my standard like go to. It's just mainly because they're like the two cereals that I have consistently. Honey Nut Cheerios, Lucky Charms.
I can get behind that. I mean,
And
there's
then every
there's
now and then I'll throw some a little bit of some cinnamon toast crunch in there.
there's a lot in
And
common with the Cheerios and
because what it
the
does is
non-marshmallow bits. So yeah.
exactly, it's the same consistency, but the honey nut flavor you get from the Cheerios picks up the blandness of the Lucky
Yep.
Charms. Because like I love Lucky Charms, but I also don't really like just the of just the cereal part. So I
Yep.
always kind of try to make sure my bowl is a little bit more marshmallow heavy. You know what I mean? Do a little bit of shake, shake, pour, shake, shake, pour. Make sure that get those marshmallows to float up to the top, and then pour. So you get a little bit, but then you get fucked at the end of the bag because then you end up with just a bowl of just the
Uh,
nasty cardboard bits and not many
Alphabet
more.
cereal.
Yeah,
Remember
Dude,
that when we were all
alphabets,
kids?
yeah,
alphabets were fucking horrible, dude.
yeah.
Yeah. Like that
But
was the
dude,
thing I always thought was crazy.
one thing I'll say that's kind of crazy that I never really got to experience as a kid, and I should probably I should try I should buy some now to see if I would like them now because of my adult experiences with other things that are very similar to them. But I was never like a pops guy, like a corn pops.
I don't like them.
But the thing is, have you have those beaver nuggets, right?
Yep.
I did.
Aren't corn pops supposed to be kind of similar to like a beaver nugget as far as
I
like
mean, I don't.
They're
I
way harder, in my
yeah.
opinion.
I think the
Like the
beaver
sugar's like a
nugget.
candy coating almost.
The beaver nugget to me reminded me of the fuck is it like that kind of pop is like that type of popcorn that's like like is it air popped popcorn? Maybe no, maybe like it just almost instantly dissolves when it hits the right.
Yeah, but see, I feel like beaver nuggets have a little bit more consistency to them than that. Like they do kind of like do that. I agree, but I feel like they have a bit more to them than that, to where it's
I
like
also found that
almost.
the different flavors, like there was some of them that were very similar in consistency, but then there was some other flavors that had like way
Yeah,
more crunch.
okay. This is what it was. Is the ones that were like cheese flavored and like savory
Mm,
flavored were definitely more
Those
like what you were saying.
like
And
a
then if you got
Cheeto,
like the
yeah.
salted caramel or like the cinnamon sugar
The
ones, those were more like corn
those
yeah,
had
pop.
corn
that,
pops.
yeah, because they had like a really hard candied outer shell,
Yeah, yeah,
kind
yeah.
of.
But dude, are
Um,
they so good, bro? They're
dude, those
so
I
fucking
went
good.
ham on those salted caramel and didn't
Dude, the
even mean
salted
to.
those ones are the best, bro. When my parents came back from a road trip, they stopped at Bucky's and brought me back like 2 bags of beaver nuggets. It was like I forgot what the first one was, but the second bag was the salted caramel ones, bro. I opened it and demolished it like one sitting. They're so fucking good.
Yeah, the beaver nuggets were a problem.
The white
Yep.
cheddar jalapeno ones or whatever, those ones are pretty fire. But dude, what were the other ones? The bold and spicy or
That
whatever?
that yeah, bold and
Th-
just a little bit spicy.
yeah, those are
They
interesting,
had a
dude.
habanero one.
Those ones
What was
are a
it?
little.
Habanero, like it was
That was
sweet
a white.
spicy or
That
bold
was a cheddar
spicy.
habanero, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was white cheddar habanero is what it
It
was.
was good.
There's
I
white
Like
actually had
cheddar,
all.
white cheddar habanero, and
and it was like a
then
regular cheddar jalapeno.
Oh, maybe.
something like that. There's a couple spicy ones, a couple cheese ones, a couple sweet ones.
Yeah, they're
There's a
good.
lot of shit, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, I
big
bet
fan of the
there's
beaver
still some
nugget.
of that stuff at Will Shop here in fucking Teed.
There wasn't really.
No?
No, because you got to think about it. There's still like another day or two after everybody left that people were still there. And we just sat there
Oh,
and
true, true,
continued to
true.
pick
Good,
at it
good.
until it was gone.
Okay, good.
Not only that, but a bunch of people like as they're leaving would go and like grab a couple things and took some shit home. I believe.
Gotta
There may
have
be
some
a
road
couple of things left.
snacks.
I'm sure there's maybe a couple donuts left. Who
I
knows?
hope not. Although
Dude,
then
there was
again,
like
those
5 or 6 dozen, man. There's a lot of them.
No, Phil took a bunch home to his kids. Like I think one or two other people took some, and then
by this point,
we ate a few the next
those are
day.
some very stale donuts.
I would absolutely not have ate them 2 weeks ago. Like 2 weeks ago would still be borderline. I probably wouldn't even have ate them 2 weeks ago. Donuts, dude, I will not eat beyond one day. I just won't do it.
Yeah, the next day is pretty rough still too.
Well, I used to when I was a kid, when I first like was had like a license in UBO, I would like get coffees and lots of times like coffee shops sell cigarettes. Like I would just like roll in there and I would buy day olds and like it'd be like touch and go depending on what kind of donut it was.
Yeah, dude, if I'm going to buy a donut, bro, I'm buying a fresh one.
Well,
I
depends
am
on how
buying.
broke you are. If you're like, yo, so I got
At the end of the day,
75
bro, a
cents
donut's
left.
only a couple fucking. It's not even a buck for a donut, bro. I'm still buying a fucking fresh one, dude.
Oh, dude, I'd be going back where $5. I go in, I buy a pack of cigarettes and like a couple day old donuts, and like that would be all my money. I wouldn't even have been able to probably afford a single fresh donut. And sometimes you just need that sweetness, you know? Sometimes you just get that fucking old shit one that's just probably was there for 2 days
Uh,
and they're just telling you it's one day.
Save your schmeckles, get yourself a fucking good one, bro.
See,
Nah,
like that.
I've never been able to hold on to money, bro. When I was a kid, I was the
Oh no,
worst.
me
It
either,
was
dude.
always burning a hole in my pocket.
Dude, there's times, bro, where I'd spend money and then fucking be fucked with that because I'd have no money for gas and I have to go to work. So I'd be like fucking scrounging around for change. Or dude, I'd be so bad. I'd be feeding so bad for cigarettes, dude, that I'd start looking through couch cushions and shit trying to find quarters just so I can go to the fucking liquor store by my friend's house and buy a Lucy. I'd find like $3 in change and buy just loose cigarettes because I didn't even have enough to buy a whole pack.
Yeah, when I would get that
The
down bad, that's
days.
when I would buy those like Cheyennes and shit. They're like
See, that's the
the
thing, bro.
cigars that are
The only thing
cigarettes.
like I was kind of kind of snobby when it came to smoking, even when I was fucking hard up, like my lowest tier, because I smoked menthols too at this time. Well, I pretty much always smoked menthol since I smoked when I started smoking cigarettes. But dude, Newports.
Oh, dude, that'd be your lowest? Dude, whenever I was in America, I would buy Newports and I didn't
But
smoke
well, because
menthols up here.
it'd be that's opposite of my brand. Like I would be cool with the Marlboro like menthol or like a
Okay, okay.
smooth or something. Like, dude, the Marlboro Smooth, bro, kind of tasted like a fucking Andes mint to me, or reminded
Yeah,
me
it
of
did.
that.
Yeah,
And
it
then,
did.
dude, I was Camel though. I was a big Camel Wide menthol or Camel. Dude, I used to like the Camel Crush
Crush?
menthol. Where it was like it was already menthol, like it was started menthol, but then you could crush it
Yeah.
and
You
be
crush the
extra.
bead and get
But
it. Yeah.
I never crushed it because I just enjoyed the flavor of it just stock. You know what I mean? And then when I would crush it on accident or light one up that it like be crushed because I fucking sat on my pack or whatever, I'd be kind of fucking bummed out, bro. I'd be like, fuck.
So like I never would really smoke those other than maybe on vacation. And I remember getting a pack once and I would just like smoke it and I was like, oh, it's a nice menthol. It's not too much. And then the last like few hits, I would
Yeah,
just
you
fucking
pop it,
pop
yeah.
it and just get some fucking real gnarly ones when you knew you can have like a
Yeah.
smoke for a couple hours.
But dude, once I discovered a Camel Wide menthol, bro, it was over.
That was one of the great creations from them was making the menthol wide. Like that thing was a game changer. I remember when I first got a chance to try one, it was like,
No, that was a smoke break, dude.
yeah.
Sit back, dude. Now go through two of them puppies, bro.
Well, that was like when I got into but at the end of my time as a cigarette smoker, I was smoking the American Spirits. Like I went the high
See, dude,
end.
I those things fucking burn forever. I will say that, but dude, they just never did it for me, bro. Like I tried so many times. I was like, there's something about them. I was just like, this ain't it.
Dude,
That was
honestly,
It's because
that's
it
partially
didn't have all the
why.
chemicals and all the other fucking shit
Exactly.
in
That
it.
was
I
that was
mean,
why we used it to transition. Like
But dude, even
my
then, bro, I tried
whew.
to do that as like a transition thing, and it dude, I went fucking right back, dude.
let's like I'm
Because their menthol sucked.
you guys have never been to Canada, so like the chances of you having too many Canadian cigarettes are pretty low. And
I'll tell you right now, Chris, I've never had one.
yeah, like Sean, maybe because where he lives, maybe he would have met somebody that was like in music or anything. I have no idea, but
Canadian, no, but I have had like Russian and German cigarettes.
okay.
The fanciest
Well,
I ever got, bro, was a Camel Turkish blend, bro.
okay, so this is my opinion. Like it's kind of hilarious that we're talking about cigarettes, but like my opinion, dude, is that like Canadian and the limited British cigarettes that I had were like far superior to American
Oh,
cigarettes.
I'm
And
sure, bro.
it's I think it was like the
It's
way that like the tobacco was dried or treated or
let's
something.
let's be honest, Chris. How many things from America are better than things from other countries as far as like, you know,
If they make them.
consumable
Yeah,
products? You know what I mean? Not that
yeah.
many, bro. You're
I mean,
British chocolate and Canadian chocolate tends to be better, at least for my opinion. You know what I mean? Um,
yeah, but it was definitely distinctively different. Like if you had have
oh
tried it,
yeah,
that's why like as a person that you smoked what you guys smoked. Like tried American Spirits. I've tried like Camel Crushes. I've never tried the Camel Wide menthol. I tried a
dude,
Camel Wide
fucking put some
like
hair on your chest,
Winston's.
bud.
But like for me, when I was in America, I would smoke Newports, but it was way different than
You,
when I would smoke in Canada. Like it was the same for me. It was like
I
the
just
best
fucking
thing that killed the flavor of your guys' tobacco was like that touch of menthol, and it was like the right draw for me because like that was about how strong of a cigarette that I smoked like at home.
dude, this I just thought of something right now and it just fucking makes so much sense. There is the reason why I like the fucking Camel Wide so much was because of the draw, because it was more of a fucking open draw because it was a wider fucking cigarette.
Yeah, We never had.
That
There's no wide cigarettes in Canada
that
ever.
maybe that's why it took me so long to fucking transition to vaping until I found like a fucking like
Direct lungs.
several. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, that's all possible.
'Cause, dude,
Yo.
I fucking I didn't sit there and just fucking take little fucking puffs off a cigarette, dude. I chiefed bad boys, dude. And I don't know, I didn't lung them necessarily, but like,
But you had more airflow in that than a
yeah,
traditional butt, that's for sure. Yeah.
because
Oh,
otherwise
you
I'd
would get
be,
more smoke on a shorter draw. Like that's
oh,
definitely
for sure, because you had more
because
burning.
they were considerably wider than a
Yeah,
regular
yeah, yeah,
cigarette.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Did
Like,
you
dude,
ever
when
see
I
the
first saw
Capris
them,
on the
dude, I
other
was like,
end?
that's
Oh, dude,
crazy.
my mom smoked Misty Light 120s, bro.
Bro, those fucking things like
It was
So
I
smoking.
those
It
remember
are
smelled like
big sticks
smoking a
for
fucking
real,
coffee
though.
straw, dude.
oh my God, my
They were
my
terrible.
father's wife was into those. And like she was
Or
into
Virginia Slims.
yeah, the like really like tiny pack. Like it was like half, if not almost a quarter, maybe a third of the size of a normal cigarette pack for 20 butts. And I was like,
Oh, you're talking
what
about the
in
short ones. I'm talking about the
Yeah,
fucking
he's talking about the bitch
the long.
sticks.
I'm
I
talking about
remember
the
the
long skinny
120s
ones,
too.
dude.
But yeah,
Oh, dude,
she'd
Yeah,
buy
the
these
like the
like
17s or whatever.
oh, I know
she'd
what you're
buy
talking
these
about,
like
though.
silly little things that
Like
like
fucking.
20 cigarettes would be in a box this big. Like this big around.
Oh, and how tall would it be?
Like
Probably
they'd
like
be like
that,
the
right?
length of a normal or maybe even a
Yeah,
120,
they look
but
Oh,
like
they'd
a
be
match. They would look like a
yeah,
matchbox for like a fucking barbecue like match. You know what I mean? Like where you get
uh,
like something's like 4 inches, 5 inches long.
it'd
Like
just be
Benson and Hedges
literally
made those up here. It was like Benson and
yo,
Hedges Slims, like 120s. So it would be like 120 millimeters, and then it'd be slim. And like when I say slim, I mean it was like barely bigger than like
oh yeah.
the actual
It was
thing.
like it was almost
No,
like
no,
a
no, not the
pen.
whole thing. I'm talking about the inside, like
yeah, like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
it
yeah,
could
yeah,
enter
fit
yeah,
tube.
inside, yeah.
yeah. They
Yeah,
were
dude.
small, bro.
Yeah, I knew this girl in university that smoked those, and I remember she asked me to pick her up a pack on the way over to her house, and I was like, "All right." Like I have
You
no
ever try
idea
to
what
hit?
I'm
Have you ever tried
ordering.
to smoke one?
Oh, I would bum them off her if I was out
They're
of cigarettes,
fucking
dude. I was
dude.
not like a snob. I would like prefer to bum from people that would smoke cigarettes
I was
closer to
never
mine,
I was
but
never a light cigarette guy though either, dude. Like it always
oh, I
fucking
smoked a light cigarette, but it was stronger than like every other basically regular cigarette.
yeah, I couldn't do like lights, bro. I used to hate that would be like another one of those things where like you'd be at a bar and like you'd like smoke like your last cigarette or whatever, and you like go out for another smoke break and hoping you could just like bum one for like at the end of the night or whatever, and you'd ask somebody and they're like, oh, and they hand you the like go to hand you the pack to like fucking grab one, and you see it's fucking like Marlboro Lights or fucking
I could
Camel
deal with a
Lights
Marlboro
or
Light. That's like the lightest that I would deal with
I
without
was never
fucking.
a fucking Marlboro guy, dude.
I don't like Marlboros, so I'm just saying the strength, dude.
At the
So
end
up
of the day,
here,
I'm a nothing guy now. Uh, but dude, it is kind of fun to reminisce though. I'm not gonna lie.
oh for sure, at some point in my life, I might like infinitely regret the fucking 20 plus years that I smoked cigarettes, but there is a lot of like good memories that are all like based in and around
Oh, around a
cigarettes,
fucking smoke
times of
sesh.
my life where
Yeah.
I smoked. Like,
Around
dude,
the
I started
fucking
smoking when I was 14, like full time, had a pack on me, like from like the first day of grade nine. And for like 15 years easily, till I was like probably 29, 30 years old. I smoked Players Light Small Regular, which you guys, I think there's like some cigarette that you can get in like a shorter cigarette, and it's called like the number. You guys call it the number, I think.
27s,
27s.
Marvel 27s.
And
Yeah.
are they short?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, just a little bit shorter.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I would smoke. It was called a regular size here. King size would be like what your guys' regular cigarette would be. And yeah, I smoked that forever, dude. And like they were top tier. They're
We
like
had shorts. We had
up there in price always.
because we had two sizes for like most cigarettes. You'd have like your standard, and then you'd have your hundreds, and then you'd have the 27s, which were smaller than your standard.
Yeah, so I
Yep.
think that we would just have like up to 100. We'd have like your standard, like our standard regular king 100s, and then only fucking like one or two like
Yeah, there's a few
bitch
that did
sticks
120s.
back in
Yeah.
the day
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
is what
yeah,
we would call
yeah,
them. There would be like 120s, but not many, like maybe two, and they'd probably be both made by Benson and Hedges or this other company called Matinee.
Benson
But at
and
the same time, I
Hedges.
would smoke anything. You know what I'm saying? Like if I went somewhere and they didn't have Players Light, I would get something else and survive. I just prefer not to do that.
It's crazy to think like how much of that part of my life got consumed by the hunt for a cigarette. Like I'm so glad those days are over. Like
Dude,
it's
honestly, the two
wild.
things that I hunted for like the most back in the day were for weed and alcohol, right? Because there was an age limit. Cigarettes were way easier to get. I used to buy cigarettes when I was like 14, 15 years old from the gas station, like just down the road from my house. And I would go there and
yeah.
buy them for like 250 a pack
Yeah,
and just
that was never a
the
problem for
other
me
shit was
because
hard.
I didn't start smoking till cigarettes till I was 18 anyway, so I could buy them legally at that point.
Yeah, I couldn't buy them legally for like 5 years because here the smoking age was always 19.
Yep.
Even though you could legally smoke at 18, but you couldn't legally buy them. Like you could, if you were 17 and you were smoking a cigarette, you could get busted and like you'd be like smoking underage. So you could smoke at 18, but you actually couldn't physically buy them in my province until you're 19. Other places, like where I live now, it was probably 19, maybe 18.
I always found it weird that like at least where I live, like my whole time growing up, you wouldn't get in trouble smoking a cigarette underage. You couldn't buy them, but there was nothing that said you couldn't smoke them. I always felt that was just a little weird. So like cops can just look right at me as I'm sitting there at 15, 16 years old smoking a butt and it's like, all right, whatever, kid.
Yeah,
Ruin your
you would never
life.
get busted here. I just want to point that out. I never knew anyone that got busted for it. But like
But
legally, you weren't supposed to smoke.
but like there are places that actually enforce that kind of those kind of laws. And I'm like, it just blows my mind that as far as I at least knew, there was nothing on the books that said minors can't consume it. They just can't buy it.
It definitely didn't have the same law like vibe as um alcohol, like up here.
Right.
And they were the same age for us. Like up here, it's the same age for both. So
I mean, shit. I remember being in high school and just having, the senior in class run up on lunch break to the convenience store. He'd just go make a butt run, buy everybody butts. And then, we'd all get to stand out around the corner behind the gas station convenience store or whatever, smoke a butt and then go back to school. Like weird
Never did
times.
that. My smoking days didn't start till later in life. Not like way late, like 18, 19.
yeah, dude, by the time I was that age, I was like so addicted. Like I'd been smoking for like 5, 6 years.
I
And
was too fucking scared to do shit because I was in and out of hospitals too much as a kid.
I mean, it makes sense how you would not be an early starter.
And I didn't really hang out with a lot of people that were either at that time, you know. And honestly, like I don't really think, at least from what I remember, there were many young kids really smoking that much when I was a kid. Like at least like at younger ages that I can remember, you know.
Yeah, like well, you definitely grew up in a different time, like a decade
Yeah.
later than me.
So I'm just like trying,
Because
like, I don't really remember it being as like big of a thing as it probably would have been as like maybe when like you or like my mom were like in school or something, you know? Because like fuck, my mom and my aunt were in school, dude. They used to have a fucking senior smoking lawn like on campus where you can go and smoke. Like
if we had that same
that's
thing, but it
yeah.
wasn't for seniors. It was just literally called Smoker's Corner, and it
Well,
was
I'm
like right
sure
at
it
the
was not
very
all
edge.
seniors. I think that's just I think I just called it that because we had a senior lawn in my school, so I just associate it with that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we had. It was just like if you walked out on the sidewalk and walked to the very edge, and it was like still on school property. And dude, in the mornings, like you just see people like pouring out there. There'd be like
You know
50
what?
people in Smoker's
Honestly, maybe
Corner
they
every
did, and I
morning.
just didn't notice them because I wasn't part of the group, you know, so I didn't really see it because I wasn't associating with them. So who knows? Maybe there was a group of kids fucking out back at the fucking campus smoking stoves, you know, catching heaters.
Yeah, and the rules like at my school were like a lot different than the rules at your school. Like you could leave the school property like
Technically, you
fuck
weren't
anytime you
supposed.
wanted, bro, basically.
I think seniors could leave, but like technically you weren't supposed to. But fucking everybody just walked off campus, bro.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, in grade 9, you could just roll up to the plaza.
That and
You could buy drugs
our
there. You could
our school
fucking get a
layout's
slice of
complete
pizza.
was probably completely different than what you're familiar with too, bro. Because like every it's like to go from class to class, you're outside. There's like you're like not indoors unless you're in a classroom.
Yeah, like yours probably feels more like a campus.
Yeah,
Mine was just like a big space with like a football field, soccer field on the other side, big parking lot, and this massive school with like 2 stories, huge
yeah.
fucking shops every like
See, there wasn't even any classrooms that were more than one story in my school. Like you'd have to walk up shit fuck tons of stairs to get to fucking classes. That's because there's just three different fucking levels of the campus, and you'd
All
have to
built on
walk
the
up
side of
like
a hill.
dude, exactly. And you'd have, dude, one of the steepest fucking hills too, bro, which used to suck when you do like fucking PE and have to do like the fucking like their cross country run or whatever, where you'd have to run around the fucking campus, either running up or down that hill,
Oh,
bro. If you ran down it, you're fucked, bro. Because if you get going too fast, bro, you ain't fucking stopping. And then going up, it's a fucking bitch because of how fucking steep of an incline. But dude, taking your fucking skateboard down that shit, bro,
to say. So
fucking
what you're saying is Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters
pretty sketch.
school
Yeah.
school
could have
level,
been in
you
front
Oh,
of
know,
dude,
the
we had
store.
20, 30 set stairs at my school that you'd have to climb to get from one level of the campus to the other, dude. And there'd be like two
Damn.
or three levels of that you'd have to fucking. And the worst part about it, too, is like my freshman year, bro. Like I'd have one class up here, next class would be down at the fucking first level. So I'd have to walk down two sets of stairs to get to my. It'd literally take me fucking my entire passing periods just to get to class, bro. Because I'd have to go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and
And I'm
down.
assuming that like people couldn't really easily sneak cigarettes on that walk.
Well, yeah, you probably could, but like, no, well, no,
Okay.
not like while you're walking through campus. You'd have to fucking find a cut somewhere, dude. Because we had security guards rolling around in golf carts.
What?
Yeah, dude, we
Yeah,
had
our
security
high
guards
schools were
on our
definitely way
campus at
different.
all times, dude. We had fucking like full on like race riots and shit happen at my school, dude.
Oh, there's definitely none of that going on.
Oh yeah, dude.
Not for me.
California, baby.
Yeah, it's way different. Because I would assume that like if like Sean, you went to like a public high school at the
I'm
beginning of
sure
high
his
school,
probably
right?
is more similar to like how yours was probably.
I
I
imagine it would
mean,
have been.
I spent all of a month in a traditional public high school.
Oh. Well, still, that's enough to know kind of what it was like.
I mean,
I'm
I
not
have
talking about the
seen the
social
inside
aspect,
of
but
a public high school. That is a fact.
yeah.
But I was in a small town public high school. Um, so like literally it was 2 floors and it also had a middle school attached. And like for you to take, say, music theory, you had to go to the auditorium, which meant that you had to literally cut through the entire middle school just to get there.
All of our schools out here are separated from elementary, middle school, high school.
Yeah,
I
like
don't think
that's
there's
how
many.
small
I
town
don't
that
think there's
town
many
was.
many combined. There may have been a couple like private schools that may have been like that, but like most public schools are elementary school, middle school, high school. So like
Yeah,
do
like
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 first
like the
through
town of
sixth.
Plymouth's like that.
Yeah, through sixth is elementary, and then you'd have seventh and eighth is middle, and then you'd have 9, 10, 11, 12 high school. Which I always thought was weird that you just go to one school just for 2 years and then go to another one.
Yeah, it's weird. Like if you went to a junior high here, it was grades 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
And so
See,
then you
Rest
go
was
to high
just
school
just
for
two
10,
years.
11, 12, and 13.
junior high here was 6, 7, 8. High
Yeah, see,
school
so
is
everywhere it seems different.
9
Dude,
through
what's even
12.
crazier, bro, is my junior high school is not even a thing anymore. It's fucking tore down, completely gone. And dude, the crazy part about it is it was the original high school that was built in like the early 1900s, so like 1900 something, and they just fucking knocked the bitch down, bro.
My elementary school's gone, but they replaced it with like a way bigger fucking
Dude,
school.
there's
It's
nothing
in the
there now,
exact
bro.
same
It's
spot.
literally just an empty lot. I drive past it every now and then going to like the dispensary. It's like fuck, dude. Like I see like the track is kind of there and like the patch of grass where like the football and soccer field used to be. But dude, I'm just like looking at it, just like imagining where like the gym used to be and like the fucking band room and like all this shit. It's crazy that's just gone. Not only that, bro, but my high school looks completely different now too. Like they fucking built like this crazy, like big, like 2-story library office thing in the fucking front of it now. That looks super crazy. Because dude, it like even the high school is pretty old because it was built shortly after the junior high because the junior high was just too small to fit the amount of kids that they had. So they turned that into a junior high and then built a high school, I guess. But dude, some of the buildings in that place are old as fuck too still.
We have a few
I,
old ones here. Like my first elementary school I was in, because I lived on one side of town, was a really old one. Um, and then I moved to a whole different side of town, and that one was not as old. It was more modern. And then by the time I had left that school, so grade 5, going into grade 6 for intermediate, middle school, if you will, um, they completely renovated that place. Otherwise, my intermediate school I went to is still around here in Plymouth. Both the high schools in Plymouth that were there when I grew up are there. The other middle school on the other end of town is also still open. Um, the only thing that closed for schools in my area, oddly enough, is my kindergarten.
your kindergarten was separate from your other schools?
Oh yeah, my kindergarten
Yeah,
was part of elementary school too. I forgot about.
my
Oh,
kindergarten was a separate school altogether, and that building is now closed.
Yeah,
And
I've actually
oddly
never
enough, the
heard of that before.
DPW worked out of it for a while, which I thought was really interesting.
yeah, kindergarten was. I forgot that was part of the elementary school. You started kindergarten first, second, third.
Yeah, like where I went to school, like it was kindergarten to grade 8, same school, and then my high school was like grade 9 to
Yeah, no, kindergarten was half days in this one building. So like you'd go for half the school year, you'd be like a morning person, and then you'd go for another half the school year and you'd be an afternoon person. Whoa, Zoom.
let's
What
go. No, I
the
think we're good. I think it'll
fuck?
just show up as separate files.
It might. That was weird.
That
Because the minute
that's
you came
gonna
back and it said the recording started again.
that's gonna be an interesting edit.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything I said before it crashed?
No, you just
No.
fucking disappeared, and then all of a sudden you just pop back.
Oh wow, that was weird. Yeah, because I was saying like our kindergarten was weird in that like you started as half days and it would be you would be a morning kid for half the year, and then you'd be an afternoon kid for the other half
Yeah,
a
I
year.
think they might have done that.
We had half day kindergarten. I
Yeah.
remember flipping it to the afternoon. So
Yeah, I know we were at least half day though for sure.
And like I
I
said, that
actually
was in
think that
that
they didn't
one
start
separate
full day
building.
kindergarten for a long time after even I was through kindergarten. I think that now it's full day kindergarten, but I don't think that it was like forever because I definitely didn't do it.
But yeah,
But
then you just wound up in the other buildings.
both my schools are like around the same age. They're like built in like the early 60s, I think. My kindergarten or my elementary school probably could have fit into my high school like 10 times. It's my high school. I went from my elementary school. There's like a graduating class, like 30 kids, 25 kids. There was like 250 kids in the school to like a high school where there was like 2,000. But it just grabbed from like all these other schools and like neighboring places that were like all 15 minutes away. It's like a feeder school for like this one high school.
Okay, so my the high school that I went to, like the current campus, was built in 1952. I'm trying to see when the original one was built though. Um,
My high school's still there. I drove by it like actually maybe 2 years ago. It looks basically the same as when I was there.
Yeah, they even renovated
uh,
Carver High School.
you guys know who Dan Henderson is, the MMA fighter?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He came out of my high school.
He, yeah, he's the one that had like a big time beef or not beef, but like him and some dude went at it for like a few different fights, right? Like a Ken Shamrock
Hmm.
or Chuck Liddell or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Who else we got here? We got an NFL star from like the 80s, Tom Cherry. Wait,
I'm looking it up. Who famous went to my school?
oh, you guys know the guy Akeef Stanley or whatever? He's kind of like a popular actor now. He played Snoop in uh the NWA movie. Went to my high school, I think. Dude, apparently this guy Kawan, the co-founder and vice chairman of Mint Mobile, went to my high school. Crazy. They don't really have many on here as far as notable alumni.
Dude,
Yeah,
apparently a guy who served as the prime minister of Greece went to my high school. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah, apparently. There's like quite a few NHL players that went to my high school. A gold medal trampolinist in the Olympics.
they're good at bouncing, huh?
Yeah. Some dude named Rasmus Lerdoff who co-authored and inspired the PHP scripting language. There you go. Oh, there's a musician. There you go. Interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be too many notable people from any of the high schools that I was in. Uh, no surprise there.
Like I said, three of the top five are NHL, like Stanley Cup champions. So it's not like they're world famous. They're famous if you're into what they're in, what they do.
I went to a school full of bad kids. Like, let's be honest.
I mean, there's could have been bad kids that became like huge business people, and I guess it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, I'm not taking anything away from these people saying they couldn't have been big successful individuals, but I don't think that they're going to be any of them are going to become notable names anywhere in any major field.
I think that's fair.
You know, like could these
And
people
also,
have
there wasn't
successful
that many
businesses?
people. Well, there
Right,
was
like
how many people did you go to high school with? There wasn't thousands of kids like I went to school with.
yeah, no, I think it was like 30. My senior class was like four, six of us. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
I don't even remember how many kids were in my
Like,
class.
There's like 300 people in my
Yeah,
graduating class, like 320 maybe.
there's a good
yeah,
amount.
like it's easy to graduate the top of your class early when you're one of like four or six seniors.
I definitely wasn't the top of my class, but got to graduate early.
I was definitely not either.
Yeah, I because of the type of school I was in, I worked out a deal where they just gave me my year's work in one stack. And they went, when the stack is gone, you're done. You've earned your credits. And I could do what I wanted. So some days I just wasn't feeling it. I could come in and I could just sleep all day and then go home. And then some days I'd be like, all right, let's go. And I just bang.
It sounds like a thing out here that we had called like options for youth. It was like for, people that were, struggling with the standard schooling system or may not have been able to attend the standard schooling system for reasons and, other things like that. But like it was like one of those things where you go in, they give you like packets of work. You can do it at like your pace. If you want to do a bunch of it, you can get done earlier and graduate earlier, like you're saying. Or if you wanted to, you take you however long you fucking wanted to take you, sort of thing. And then I
Yep.
don't think that thing lasted very long. I think they ended up getting shut down. I don't know if it's still a thing.
Well, I mean, those fall under special education programs, and special education programs are usually the first to lose funding. And so what money they do have gets shifted to the people who
Well, I
really
think like
need special education.
their accreditation like was like weird or iffy or something, or like th they had problems with credits transferring and stuff like that for like people that were like trying to go to like colleges and stuff, I think.
Up here, like night school was like pretty big for like people that are trying to catch up or like people that wanted to work and still get their high school degree. Like you could do it. Like if you're someone that like after grade 10, you're like, I can't do the normal high school thing. You probably could have picked up enough credits through night school and it just might have taken you like
Yeah, I don't
3 years
I'm
of night
sure that's
school.
probably a thing here too, but I never
Yeah,
looked
say and
into it
like
or
That's
that.
anything.
not
This
the
was
traditional
considered
way to get there, right?
Yeah.
a collaborative school. So the idea was that you were a student in the special education program, and you were in this particular program because your learning style was different. Um, And so these were still classes, but you'd have classes with like seven, 10 kids in a classroom instead of 30, 40 kids in a classroom. Um, and so it was a lot more directed learning, a little bit more hands-on, rather than trying to teach you math that most of these kids were never going to use. We weren't in there learning quadratic equations and shit like that. We were
Yeah.
in there learning how to do our taxes,
Like
create a
business
budget.
math.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I, I went
real world
to
math is what they called it. And so like that was the way that they framed a lot of it was like let rather than teach you to, regurgitate facts on tests. Let's teach you things you need to know and then of course help you pass the standardized tests. So that was how they operated, and it was a great program. It worked for a lot of people. Um,
The program I
you
was
know,
in was slightly different, but I don't necessarily know if it was a program. But I went to a thing that I had to go to a school like the last semester of my senior year. That was, they call it a continuation school. It's like for those that weren't able to possibly graduate under normal circumstances, whether they are over the normal age or maybe have some behavioral issues or like things like honestly, it's almost like a fucking school for all the rejects. Pretty much is kind of how I looked at it because a lot of the kids I went there with weren't,
You were like kind of sad that you were there. You're like,
yeah, I
why
kind
am
of felt
I
like
here
I didn't
then?
belong for
Yeah.
sure, bro. Because I was like, why? Because there's times where I felt like I was being punished just because like how things fucking were ran there. Um, but I also wasn't there for a lot of the same reasons that everybody else was there. I was there just because I fell behind due to health complications and stuff, and I was just trying to catch up so I could graduate on time. Where some of these people, this was their last fucking resort. It was either this or they weren't fucking going
Ever
anywhere.
gonna get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Not saying everybody was like that. There was definitely, different cases for different people, but it ended up working out for me. Not gonna
well,
say I was
shit.
taught a whole lot. Definitely a lot of fucking workbooks or books and fucking packets and notes and that type of shit. Like being handed a book and then a fucking packet said, "Here, have at it."
Yeah, do this work and earn your credits,
Yeah,
and you're good.
it's crazy.
Honestly, the best thing I thought they threw in there was the whole community service credits. I don't know if you guys ever had to do any of that, but
That came in like years after me.
Yeah, I don't
like
know if I did.
You had to
it
do
wasn't
like a certain
required
amount.
for me, but most of the kids I went to school with, it was. So I just went and did community service with them because the shit they had us do was kind of cool.
I think
Like,
I think I might have gotten some credits for that because I worked in the office at the fucking continuation school.
Oh,
oh
I
hell
never
yeah.
did any of that shit.
So like I had like a period where I was like in the office doing like filing papers and shit for like my buddy's brother worked there. So I just hang out in his office and just like file fucking like sick notes from like kids and like put them in like fucking files and shit. And dude, he used to give me so many extra credits just for I'd go in there during like my lunch and shit and just like fucking clock credits just so I fucking could get out of there fucking quicker because I didn't want to fucking be there. So I was like, what can I do to get the fuck out of here? And I don't know if he pulled some strings or what, but definitely helped me out, man.
Fuck yeah. Well, shit, that was a fun run down memory lane, and we are running out of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into the Shedtime podcast. We really, really, really do appreciate it. With that, I'm going to send it on over to Uncle Chris to start taking us home.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you. Of course, go to shedtimepodcast.com. Check us out. Give us some reviews. 5 stars or max reviews. That'd be lit. Um, Other than that, check us out Friday nights on the Green Room Frames Jenklin Vapor YouTube channel at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we'll just catch you next week. So everybody stay safe. And I've already forgotten my shit. Everybody stay safe, have a good week, and live your best life. James, take it away.
There you go, dude. I figured you'd figure it out at some point. Shout out to all the Shedheads for you guys' continuous support. We greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate you guys. As always, make sure leaving those 5-star reviews, like, subscribe, follow, all that, and all those podcasting platforms. Tell a friend. You know what I mean? Other than that, if you need any links to anything that we mentioned, as far as, episodes, green room, all that, go over to shedtimepodcast.com. Everything you need's right there. Other than that, check us out Friday over on my YouTube channel. And I'm going to end it as I always do, sitting on all those positive vibes. Crisp by fives. Don't forget to tell somebody you love them. A little bag or dab will do you.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So one more time, ShedTimePodcast.com has links to everything. So with that, I'll just tell you, don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool, don't be a dick, and whatever it is that you do, try and have some fun, because it's the Shed Time Podcast, and it's time to blow one up and blow one out.
Oh wait, not that blowout. My bad.
Hey, he got jokes.